Honor Flights pays tribute to all veterans, and the group of students from Pleasant Valley Middle School got to experience firsthand the honor of the veterans who will never get to experience the national memorials. But those veterans' service for our freedom did not go unrecognized.
World War II Memorial. I didn't expect to see all of the stars in the back, 405,000 stars for all the soldiers that passed away there.
There was a lady that sent our school her father-in-law's dog tags. He didn't get a chance to make it to the memorial. She wanted a piece of him to get there. And so she's like, I want one of the students and their vet to just go and take pictures with these dog tags at all of the different places. It was just so special because it was like having another veteran there with you.
You think about it, these belonged to this person, and this person died. And knowing that he did fight for our country, I mean, he deserved everything that we could have done for him.
Those dog tags were as important as any of the other men there.
It is more than just a trip to see all the memorials.
It's a race against time to see all the main attractions in Washington, D.C. The schedule's timed down to the minute so the veterans can fully take in all the memorials. One of the last they took in was to Iwo Jima.
Anybody comes to Washington, D.C. ought to see this. Yeah. It's so impressive. It's just a monument that really stands out to me.
What emotional changes have you seen in some of these students as you were watching?
Well, as I watched them at the memorials, they realized what a threat war was.
Another person talking about seeing other people dying isn't the same as somebody in the movies seeing people dying, because he had it all in detail, because he was out in the boat watching all the men fall down just right there. And when they were getting out of the boats, you just saw them blood just splattering all the way from the boat. So Iwo Jima was crazier than I thought.
This veteran was one of the first on the ground to witness the devastation of the first nuclear bomb.
So we just didn't talk about the war. And maybe it wasn't the right thing to do, but that's the way it was.
Gritty, tough, ornery, whatever you want to call them, they stood through the battlefields, the shore bombardments, the naval gunfights, the marine landings, the airborne assaults, that we look at in movies and see it so automatic. Those young adults grew up by years for seeing the sacrifice that these people made for them.
It's not just the memorials that these heroes get to see. Some receive long-forgotten recognition. This Naval Award ceremony was a surprise to a veteran who went over 60 years unrecognized for his courageous action under pressure.
I would like to identify this as a formation.
And I didn't really know what was going on. And I was kind of just looking at him, and when they did it, I think it took a second for it all to sink in, and then the look on his face was just, it made the whole scene.
Harold B. Sorensen, post PG-83308, Coast Guard cutter. Performed services in an outstanding and meritorious manner. Following the dispatch of your ship to an area of disaster caused by two tankers collided, the Punta Gorda and the Impetco. Upon arriving at the scene of the disaster, began a search for the survivors, which resulted in the saving of 15 men. You personally went into the water and saved 15 men. All of this took place while a 20-millimeter ammunition ignited by fire was exploding on your boat and all around. That Mr. Sorensen could be decorated with a Navy Cross. Let them pin the medal, and the formation can go dismissed. Way to go, guys! Good job! Good job.
Despite the huge age gaps between the vets and the students, they share a bond that will never be broken.
And I had no idea who my veteran was until I got to the World War II Memorial, and I just grabbed onto a wheelchair. His name is Wayne, and he stuck with me the entire trip. At one point, another lady tried to push him because I wasn't off the bus fast enough, and she made him come find me. He didn't even know my name, but he just knew that he didn't want to be with anybody else.
You would ask the veterans if they wanted a wheelchair, and they would look at you like you were crazy. Like, seriously? I'm fine. And then you're supposed to ask them, do you want a wheelchair? And they're like, no, we're good.
We were getting on the buses to go back to the airport to come home, and I was with a veteran. His name was Dan, and I had been with him the whole day. I was going to push him to the bus because they kind of parked farther away than normal, and he said that he would walk. He was going to take himself to the bus, and I didn't have to do it. And he was sitting in a wheelchair on the sidewalk, just sitting there by himself. And I went over to talk to him, and I was like, hey, why are you just sitting here? And he was like, oh, I thought I lost you. I was like, well, what are you talking about? I thought you were going to walk. And he was like, I changed my mind. So he was just going to sit there until I came back.
Even though there was some grumbling, the bigger picture was this generation needed to be with that generation.
After 36 hours, it was time to head home again. But boarding the plane wasn't the end of their surprises.
Mail call, for instance, is something we introduce on our honor flights, and we introduce it nationally to all the other hubs. When we do mail call, they actually get letters from kids in their communities. They found out that mail call didn't happen for these veterans. Sometimes 60, 90, 120 days in combat, when they don't get to take a shower, change socks, or even if their socks still were on their feet.
Arriving back in Wichita, these vets still had something to look forward to.
We get off the plane and we go down, and there's just almost I don't know, maybe more than 100 people down there just clapping, and like they never did stop clapping. It's kind of at a loss for words, but I was extremely like glad and happy that so many people came for these veterans. It just makes them feel great. It just makes you and them feel great. It makes everybody feel great.
At the end of the trip, I didn't really want to leave. It was hard to leave, because you had made a friendship with that veteran, just didn't want to leave him.
There's so many red eyes, and it was just special to see how many people, some of them didn't even have family that was getting off of the plane. They just showed up to support our vets.
I just broke down. I started crying because I was just like, wow, we really did it. And I was proud of what we done.
And our committee fought off all the sarcasm, all the junk. These kids went and performed so admirably. They were the most compassionate. When you have kids like that dedicated to the mission, our committee knew from the get-go that nobody was going to stop it.
I found out it was a better experience than I ever thought it would be.
Unmistakable respect and lifelong friendships were forged on this honor flight, something these students could never learn from the internet or from a movie.
And I actually got to see him last night. I made a scrapbook of my trip, of all the pictures I had taken, and I took it over to him and his wife last night and shared the pictures. And his wife knew I was coming. He knew I was coming, but he had no idea about the scrapbook. So it was really cool for him to see the pictures I had taken. He didn't even realize that I had my camera with me and was snapping pictures above his head.
Oh, I think this is an experience that these kids will remember the rest of their lives. They will never forget this. and they will understand more the importance of what happened in World War II.
Honor flights are fully funded by donations from people like you. Without your support, this never would have been possible.
The committee's greatest commitment right now is awareness. The public needs to be aware. We need to get veterans to sign up, get on our waiting list. That way when we go to donors, when the council or committee members go out and say, hey, we need a donation, we actually can substantiate that right now we have 1,000 waiting on a list and 20 signing up every day. And if we don't fund them now, it'll be too late. We've learned to be more efficient with how we ask for donations and take every donated dollar and take it all the way. This nonprofit does not take anything off the top. We take the donations and put them right back in Honor Flight.
For many of these vets, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, an experience they never would have gotten without honor flights.
Well, you know, it's an honor. We should honor those people. I was part of that too, as far as that goes, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was beautiful. I'm real honored that they built it for us.
I just wanted to see what I was a part of. I guess that's what
You thank them over and over again.
Walk around the 40 and Ward Memorial.
There's just no way to express it, really.
Thank you for remembering.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and that's all I can say.
World War II vets are dying at alarming rates. If you'd like to donate or know of a veteran who would like to go on a Central Prairie honor flight to see their memorial before time runs out, go to this website for more information.